Hello, welcome everyone. It is FMC. I'm Jeremy. That is SP3. How you doing, buddy? It's a Monday. We're back on Mondays after this insane, stupid week that we've had. How's American life retreating you?
Man, this time difference is rough. It is rough, ladies and gentlemen. 5 hour difference for over 5 months for me. It's been a lot this past week. I just realized last night as I tried to go back to sleep at 4:30 a.m. that it's been now a week since I've been back in on the East Coast and not in the UK or Chicago. So it's been a week.
You've had a busy week too. You got back and you just went like right to Chicago. So, and even that's a hour time difference, right, for you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, then I was 6 hours behind of where I was. So yeah, that was another time difference, and not sleeping in the bed you're most comfortable in. But no, I had good accommodations. Thanks, shout outs to the Stat King from True Hill Heat in Chicago. Anytime I'm in Chicago, he looks out for me. So yeah, it's been a lot. But how's been your week? Because like I've always said, when I'm trying to be nice to you, you are the headline king, and you've had a lot of headlines to write in the last week.
I don't remember half of them, honestly. I don't. It's been a long week, SV3, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. So we'll see. It's been fine. We're not here to talk about wrestling. We had NFL season started technically last Thursday, but Sunday week one was yesterday. Played some 2K. I did kind of take Friday off because 2K came out and the new season of Cobra Kai came out.
Oh, you watched that too?
Oh yeah, I watched the Cobra Kai.
I did. I finished it too. I finished it all.
Don't spoil it. I have not seen the full season yet. I'm like,
okay.
I'm like six episodes in, because like if I can take time off and watch it, then I can like get through it. But otherwise, I don't have any time to watch this stuff. So yeah, I'm like 6 episodes in. That's basically how I spent my Friday, though. I did a little bit of work. Otherwise, I played 2K and watched Cobra Kai all day. It was so nice. So nice to just have like a day away from everything. Luckily, everyone was on their best behavior when it came to wrestling wise, and was able to get a little bit of a break, which was nice.
That's sweet. Cobra Kai and 2K, and I saw your 2K post, which you are ridiculous, putting Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and Michael Jordan on the Supersonics. There's just no realism in my era.
Well, fuck about realism. I'm trying to win championships. All right, let's start.
What do you got? Trade override on?
No. Okay, so let me tell you how all this happened. All right, so I did the gimmick that you did because I thought this was a great idea. I told you that on air. It's like, oh, you sold me on like doing the Sonics, and then I can have they move to OKC and everything, and I can basically just start. Am I here? You're muted. You are muted, SP3.
You were frozen there for a little bit there. That's why I muted myself. I was like, is it just me or?
Yeah, I saw. I jumped out for a second. No idea what happened, but I seem to be back now. All right. So what was I saying? So all right, you sold me on the idea for the Sonics, which was great. I loved it. So I started with the Sonics. And the roster's trash. It's Gary Payton. Gary Payton's like actually good. It's like he's like 86 overall. Like he's not bad. It's Gary Payton, like Rashard Lewis, like 24-year-old Rashard Lewis. He's not bad. Desmond Mason, he's young. He's not terrible either. And then there's some other people who I didn't care about. But like I simulated most of it. I'm not trying to play games with like Gary Payton and all these guys. So I simulated most of the season. Got to the trade deadline, shipped off everybody. I traded Gary Payton for like a first-round pick and white chocolate Jason Williams. And then I traded for ISO Joe Johnson. Yeah, young Joe Johnson in the league.
Nice.
I traded for Vlade Divac at one point, and we were winning games, and I couldn't have that. So I traded Vlade. I traded for Vlade like early in the season, and then so I traded him off. So I just acquired like some first-round picks, and that tore down the team. But I ended up with like not a bad team of like young Jason Williams, young-ish, he's like 26, 27. Rashard Lewis, Desmond Mason, and somebody else who was like sort of young, but not like great or anything. Anyway, we finished like bottom 5 team in the league. We get to the draft lottery, and we have the 4th best odds. We have the 4th best odds to win the lottery. This is the LeBron draft, by the way, because when you start the My Era, it starts 0203. So it's the LeBron draft for anybody keeping track. Win the lottery. So we win the lottery, right, SP3? I'm like, we got LeBron. Above all else, we got LeBron. We're in good shape. So we get there, we get LeBron, or it's at the draft, and I'm like, what if? So I have the first pick, I have the 10th pick that I acquired in the Toronto trade. I don't remember who I traded for Toronto, but regardless, I got Toronto's first round pick. They ended up getting 10th. And then I had the 22nd pick as well. So those are all my first round picks, 1, 10, and 22, right? So 1, I take LeBron. I do the trade finder, and I do always go with trade finder. It's the greatest invention in all of sports games, the fucking trade finder.
It is.
So I don't remember who got the second pick. I think Denver has the second pick. And I look and I was like, who can I get for the second pick? The second pick costs too much. Keep in mind, this draft is LeBron, Melo, Wade, Bosh. Those are the top 4 picks. So yeah. I couldn't get the second pick. That was going to be too costly. The third pick, though, Utah had the second pick. The third pick, that was Denver. They wanted Rashard Lewis and 10th overall. And I'm like, I'm ending up with Melo or Wade at 3. Like, regardless, I'm getting one of those 2 at 3. Rashard Lewis, I don't give a fuck about Rashard Lewis. No offense to him, but like, I'm getting Melo or Wade, and I don't care about the 10th pick because who am I going to get for the 10th pick? So I was like, yeah, I'm doing that deal in a heartbeat. So I trade Lewis and 10 for the third overall pick. So we get to the draft. I take LeBron first. Utah did an amazing rebuild, by the way. They lost Karl Malone in free agency. They lost John Stockton in free agency. They ended up taking Melo at 2, and then they signed Gilbert Arenas, Elton Brand, and Jermaine O'Neal. So they've got Melo and those 3 as part of their starting lineup. Like, it's actually a really good team. So I get Wade at 3. So I've got LeBron and Wade right now. I'm looking at 4. 4 is Memphis, I believe. 4 is Memphis. I'm looking at 4, and I'm like, could I trade for 4 and get Chris Bosh? Like, just get the Heatles in their rookie season. And I've got like decent players. So I trade Jason Williams, somebody else who's like mid-70s, and then pick 22 and a second rounder, and I get pick 4. And I got LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. I got the Heatles in their rookie season. And now keep in mind, I've traded all of my players. So I have nobody on my roster except for these 3. That's it. Those are the only 3 players. I have a clean cap sheet. Like, I don't have money tied up anywhere.
He started the rebuild before they even got to OKC.
Yeah. I don't have any players on my roster. So, like, we get to free agency, and like Tim Duncan's a free agent. I did try to sign Duncan. He ended up re-signing with the Spurs. Tim Duncan was a big free agent. Elton Brand was a big free agent. And then there's Jordan. And granted, it's 40-year-old Michael Jordan. Like, what are you going to do? But yeah. I got no money tied up anywhere. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how amazing would it be to have rookie LeBron, last season Jordan on the same team? So I overpaid like a motherfucker for Jordan just to get him on the team. And he ended up signing. So I got Jordan, and then I tried to get David Robinson, but he ended up signing with Miami. But I got Alonzo Mourning. So my starting lineup is rookie Wade, old-ass Michael Jordan, 40-year-old Jordan, rookie LeBron, rookie Bosh, and like 33-year-old Alonzo Mourning. That's my starting lineup. Tell me this isn't like the greatest mishmash of players ever assembled. I got the 2 best players of all time on the same team, one starting his career, one ending his career. It's great. I signed Steve Kerr. I signed Charles Oakley, just signed a bunch of old guys because that's what Jordan would want anyway.
Yes.
It's great. I love this team. This team rules.
And what year are you in now?
Right there.
What year are you in now with this season?
I'm still at rookie LeBron season because I don't simulate every game. I like to play like a little, especially with this team. Like I'm not gonna simulate, dude. Like that trash Sonics team was like, yeah, I really want to play a bunch of games with like Gary Payton and nobody else on this team. Especially like after the trade deadline when I traded Buddy off, like I played a few games with the white chocolate Rashard Lewis team, which was a little bit fun. But I usually play. So my rule is sort of two games per month is what I play, especially if I'm doing like a long term. If I'm trying to like play it all out and just see how good I'm going to be, then I'll try to play like every game or at least like one game per week. But 2 games per month is my rule. So that ends up being like a total of like 10 games. And then I simulate the rest. And then if I make it to the playoffs, then I'll change the rule depending on like how many playoff games I want to play. Obviously, the first season I didn't make the playoffs, so I didn't have to worry about that. So yeah, I'm only in like November with this team. I've only played like 3 games with this team. So a couple of things to point out. One, Shaq is fucking beastly, especially in like this era when he's playing against just like all the shitty centers that are out there at this time. Like he's beastly. The 76ers won the title in my simulation. Wow. Allen Iverson, I just played him. So it was my first game with the Jordan Heatles is what I'm calling them. So it's my first game with Jordan Heatles, and Iverson scored like 40. And these are 6-minute quarters, mind you. Like he just went off on everybody. And yeah, he's amazing in this game. So Iverson's great. I love the My Era stuff. It's so much fun to go back and like play because you can. I've always said this about NBA 2K. Like I love the customization and everything, but a lot of times like you're doing like all-time drafts, so you're playing like you can use Shaq, but you're usually playing against like Kareem, Hakeem, like all the prime centers and everything. If you do like an all-time draft, you could easily like you could put like the Lakers against like the nowadays teams and stuff, but to like actually play when they were there and then have the drafts and everything, like you can really just see, you can more replicate how they would play in that era and everything. Yeah. You can get like the dominant numbers that you couldn't do in past years. So I'm really enjoying it so far. The gameplay is good. I wish they would tweak a few things, but the pick and roll could be a little bit better. Defense, I can't play defense to save my life. That's very annoying to me. But otherwise, like, yeah, I'm having fun with the My Era thing. I did do some of the Jordan challenges. Those are really fun. And that's kind of where I'm at. So
where does that start, the Jordan challenge?
Oh, it starts UNC. Like, it starts UNC, and then you get to play the little exhibition game with Team USA against, like, NBA All-Stars. And then you get to – and then – so I did those 2. And then the first, like, NBA one is the 63-point game against Boston. So that's where I'm at there. And like you can't play it around. Like you got to go in order. After you unlock them all, you can go back and replay them. But to start with, you have to play them in order. So yeah, I did do some of the Jordan challenge, but the My Era thing, like I've already thought of. I'm someone who just likes to do like a bunch of fucking ideas. So like I've thought of like, oh, I want to be the Suns. The Suns don't have Nash at this point, but like I want to recreate the 7 seconds or less Suns because they do have Amari. I think Amari's actually a rookie in the game. They do have Marion. I think they have. You
just have to look at Nash's contract and just save your money for that summer when he's a free agent.
I think he's a free agent in a couple of seasons, so I'd have to wait. Okay. Like, what my idea is actually to like just trade Marbury for Nash, and if I got to throw in like filler, I'll throw in filler, and basically recreate the 7 seconds or less Suns. But like the Mavericks have young Nash and young Dirk, and like to like actually play like use them and lead them and keep them together. Like that's an idea that I've thought of. I've also thought of like because you can do like fantasy draft and stuff. So like you can do like an 02-03 fantasy draft where you can just like and split Shaq and Kobe, but you get Shaq and just build around Shaq, or you get Kobe, build around Kobe, Iverson, build around him. Like I've thought about that because I love doing fantasy drafts. I thought about doing that for the 80s as well, or the early 90s of just like take Jordan and okay, like let's reshuffle the entire league. Who can I like put around Jordan to build around him? Just so many ideas that you can do with the My Era thing. I love the customization of 2K.
Yeah.
Like it's what I've always enjoyed about it, and now it's even more this year with the customization with the My Era stuff. So I'm super excited to keep playing it, which I'm sure I'll be playing it maybe in like a month or so when I have another day off.
Yeah, I've been thinking about making that purchase, even if it's for Xbox One, before I get like the next gen systems. I may just drop a few dollars on NBA 2K because I've been seeing the videos and stuff. It looks really cool, especially the My Era. The My Era, that's my bag. Like I love the My NBA mode anyway, and that's what I usually always play. So I thought about the Lakers rebuild, keeping Kobe and Shaq together, because that's what I'm all about, keeping the love together. The Supersonics one that I told you about, I like that idea. The keeping the Nash and Nowitzki, the Mavericks, is a good idea. I like that one.
See, that's a fun one to me, of like trying to keep them together. And I thought about, because like I'm the type of person to where like I want like a little bit of a challenge. I don't want to keep playing like the same way all the time. And I will say, like, I feel I've already overdone it with this LeBron like the Jordan Heatles of like, well, I've kind of just got like, even though I know Jordan's going to retire, I've got LeBron, Bosh, and Wade for however long now. And like, that's cool. I am interested to like keep kind of playing that. But I want to sort of like be a team that's sort of middle, try to take them to the top. And that way, like LeBron can be on a different team, Wade can be on a different team, Bosh can be on a different team, and see how things play out then. Because I've kind of already, I don't want to say cheated. I did this all legit. I did not use like trade override or anything, but I have kind of just like
you use Trade Finder. Like Trade Finder is basically the
Trade Finder is part of the game.
That's the one level below Trade Override.
It's part of the game. Don't put it in the game if you don't want me to use
There's
it like
no
that.
realism to it. There's no. I thought you were gonna do a realistic rebuild with the Supersonics.
It is realistic if that's the trades that are being offered. That's what's being offered.
That's the trades that are being fouled, not offered.
No, trade override is not realistic, because if I'd done trade override, I would have just traded a second round pick for third overall. That's not realistic. I still had to give up Rashard Lewis. I just didn't have any use for Rashard Lewis. Like, that's what it comes down to. They had more use for Rashard Lewis. So no, trade override's very real, or trade override's not realistic. Trade Finder, very realistic. So I have no regrets about using the Trade Finder to get these deals. But I will say that like in doing this, because I have almost stacked the deck too much in my favor, like I kind of just want to try something else. And the 7 seconds to less Suns, that's the team that got me back into basketball. Like I took a break from basketball after Jordan retired the second time, I guess, with the Bulls. And even when he came back with the Wizards, I was like, it ain't quite the same. Like it's cool to watch Jordan, but it ain't quite the same. And then like I just kind of took a break from basketball because like Kobe and Shaq were fine. Like they were dominant. Like no, it was good. It was fine. The Pistons were boring as shit. The Spurs weren't very fun. Like they were pretty boring too. Like the 7 seconds or less Suns. There's a great book out on them as well. And it was like the first time I should give proper credit. Hold on. Let me find this book. 7 seconds or less Suns book. The same person wrote about the Dream Team as well.
Yeah.
It's Jack McCollum wrote this book. And I remember reading this book, and it's like really unprecedented access that like behind the scenes stories of this team. And look, this team never won a title, never went to the finals or anything. It's not like it's one of the most revered teams in NBA history. It is one of the teams of like, it's one of the most what if teams of like, what if Amari doesn't get suspended for coming off the bench? But so I read this book, and like, that's a team that just like really got me back into basketball. So I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for the 7 seconds less Suns. And Steve Nash is my favorite non-Jordan, non-OKC player of all time as well. So I always like using Steve Nash. So I'll probably end up like, I won't completely scrap my Supersonics thing, because I do want to get to like the Thunder and like go from there. But I probably will end up trying to do the 7 seconds or less Suns sort of gimmick and see how far I can take them.
Yeah, I also want to do one from the Kobe era with the Bulls, because that's when the Bulls are crappy. That's
the Bulls are complete trash.
That's a real build.
Yeah, it is. You gotta sign Jordan for one last season though.
Absolutely. Now you told me he's free after the first season. Oh, that my cap is going. That's gonna be the big free agent landing for the Bulls. One last season. I might do it for the Lakers too. Make them play small. Make them play the 3 for Kobe and Shaq. Try to get 4 straight.
There you go. I mean, you can see it's fun. Like Jordan becoming a free agent, even though he's 40, like to just sign him to your team. Like he's still Jordan, just to have him, exactly. Especially if you've got somebody like Kobe to put like Kobe and Jordan on the same team. And like when I drafted LeBron, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put LeBron and Jordan on the same team. Like, why wouldn't I do this? It's great. So I'm excited to again play it in a month when I have another day off. I had the week off after the wedding, and I don't know if the fiance is gonna work at all that week either, but I'm just gonna shun her. Be like, go do something so I can play 2K all day.
That's their day off from the honeymoon.
I mean, I don't know if we're like doing like a honeymoon. Just taking time off of work is the honeymoon. We'll get away and do some fun stuff and everything. But yeah, I'll play some 2K, I'm sure, at some point during that week. She just messaged me and said, thanks, Romeo. Spend the first week of our marriage just me playing video games. I do that already happened. That's not good.
That's how you get her ready for the rest of her life.
I don't play video games. That's the thing. Like I have all this stuff, but I barely play. She encourages me. Like Friday, she wanted me to do like this small, like minuscule task that would have taken me like 5 minutes to do it. And I'm doing it anyway. And she's like, no, you like, don't do it. It's your day off. Like just play NBA, do whatever you can do. Like, don't do this task at all. I still did it. And she'll get mad at me that I'll do like these small tasks to like help her, help myself, or help anything. She's like, you deserve a break. She always encouraged me to like take breaks, play video games and things like that. That's why she's the best. And I don't know what she sees in me, but she's the absolute best.
I think we're all wondering that same question, but I'm glad she found you.
Not I found her. I don't know why she should be glad she found me.
See, I'm nice to you sometimes. I'm nice to you sometimes.
Gonna put that on screen. Please don't say that, Hannah. Like you can easily take her. Like I don't need that. Like I don't need that at all. So
he's like, I'm not trying to put that in the universe.
Yeah. I don't need that at all. So yeah, yes. She just messaged Denise was already. Yeah, Denise messaged after we were in Chicago last year. And was just saying nice things. She's like, oh, I love your at the time girlfriend. She's like, I love your girlfriend. She's so great. Yeah, she's fantastic. And then there was something. It was when she brought me a cupcake last year. I was having a hard day, and the fiance brought me a cupcake to be like, I know you had a rough day. Here's a cupcake. And Denise like messaged. She's like, oh, your girlfriend's amazing. Like I'm gonna take her. I was like, please don't. Like I don't need you like cool people like Denise and Hannah like trying to take her because you could. And I don't need that fight because that's a losing battle for me. So please don't do that. I appreciate that.
Poor guy. Living in fear. What is
You know how cool Hannah and Denise are? The cat is trying to get in here.
This is true. I feel for you that they're after your woman.
So all right, you gotta get 2K SB3. You gotta get it.
I do.
I don't know if I started in the like Jordan era, so that's early 90s. I don't know. I think like just starting a fantasy draft and like trying to just build around Jordan without the advantages of like having Pippen and stuff. Or maybe like you try to like build around an old Magic or Isaiah Thomas. That's no fun. Like Jordan's the guy you want to use. Or tank out and get Shaq. Like using Shaq,
yeah,
it's the first season before Shaq's draft. So basically, like you would maybe draft like young guys and just like tank and try to get Shaq, and then just build around Shaq for that era might be the way to go.
Or you can like get some good players and then trade them at the trade deadline to get a draft pick that you think will be Shaq, because then you have a better idea of who's at the bottom.
Yeah, and that's basically what I did with the Sonics. Is like, if you're gonna tank out, then like tank out. You either want to be really good or you want to be really bad, especially if you know like, oh, I got a chance at Shaq, then that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. I'll probably play around with more ideas. I always have ideas. My follow through is not the best because I just come up with another idea, and so I don't follow through.
Forget about that one. Let's move on to this one.
Yeah, that's legitimately how I am, and like I think all of these ideas are good, but me like trying to stick with like a long-term thing when it comes to these video games, having too many options is a bad thing for me when it comes to video games, because like I'll just want to keep doing like different things. I have not done my NBA, my career, whatever the fuck they call it, but I did see. Yeah, I did see. I don't know if you've seen these videos, SP3. So you've played it in the past, right? The my career thing. You know how it's like very story driven,
yes,
and everything nowadays. Like apparently you're like a rapper this year. I've seen this video where the dude is like rapping on the streets, and people are very mad. It's like, can we just play basketball? Like, can we just play basketball games? Like, what are we doing? I remember one year the dude's name was Freck for like frequency.
Yes.
And
I remember that
his
one.
friend died. And like,
like all the emotional story threads that they be trying to put in this, I'll be like, this is too over the top for me. I'm just gonna play my NBA. That's why I play my NBA, because every time I go into another mode, I'll be like, this is like too into it. Like I can get, at least in my NBA, I can get lost. I can do a 3 to 5 year rebuild with a bad team and then call it a day. That's it. Then the next time I come to the game, I can start another rebuild. With that, that's like multiple days, multiple weeks doing this stuff, whether it's my team, whether it's my career. And that's why I stay away from both of those modes most of the time.
That is, I can't do my team because like the card collecting and everything, I don't care about that. It seems like it costs too much money. And in my NBA, it's this one, Velba Freck.
Freck,
it's like frequency. It's like short for like frequency. It's very stupid.
I remember that one.
But yeah, so my career, the storyline stuff. Like, look, I'm cool. Spike Lee wrote you a script for this video game. Like, I just want to play basketball games. I don't care, because after the first season, the story's over. Like, it's basically a one season story. So it's like, cool. I'm like sort of invested in the first season, and then after that, like, you're just gonna play basketball. So just let me play basketball. Like. It's cool if like there's like some side stuff to do and like practice and whatnot, but at the end of the day, like, we're trying to play basketball. I don't care about your stupid try to become a rapper and get a rap deal and all this shit.
You have to try to get a rap deal?
I think so. I think that's like one of the gimmicks in this year. Like, he's trying to get like a rap deal, like Damian Lillard. Like, I ain't trying to play my Damian Lillard career. Somebody I did see
my Shaq career. That's what it is.
I saw somebody tweet under the video where it's the video of the guy rapping, and it's like, ain't nobody trying to play out Damian Lillard's career. Just give me the Kawhi Leonard arc. just do nothing. Just chill. Just play basketball. Just give me the Kawhi Leonard arc.
Play basketball. The biggest news headlines I make is when I laugh. Yeah, that's the type of basketball journey I want.
Just let me hoop. Just let me hoop. That's all I care about.
I love Valabi says, unless you're telling me the story of Jesus Shuttlesworth, I don't want it. Yes. Yes, pretty much. Unless it's as good as He Got Game, I don't care. Spike Lee write your movie. It ain't gonna matter, because I'm not gonna get that far with the video game. 1, 2. You just wasted your time after the first season. If you don't win the championship after the first season, it's a broken story, because you know they wrote it for you to win the championship in the first season, so they can do all their cut scenes in one clear season.
I don't need the I says it MMORPG basketball. I don't need it. Okay, just let me hoop. In the words of Kevin Durant, who does other stuff besides just hoop, like just let me hoop. Fuck that guy. You're muted, SP3.
I know I am. I'm just saying. I knew he was like. I knew Kevin Durant when I heard Kevin Durant. Fuck was coming soon after or before, and it came after. Nicely done.
So that's my NBA 2K review. If you just want to hoop, there's plenty of hoop options. The gameplay is good, especially if you got it on like one of the next gen consoles, like PS5. The gameplay is good, and then the customization and like different things you can do, you'll never really run out of options. And if you're a Jordan fan, you can do the Jordan challenges and stuff. And if you do want to try to get a rap career going, there's that option as well. But it's a fun game. I always like the NBA games, so it's good. You should get it SP3 whenever you get it. I don't know if there's cross-platform, especially if you get it for Xbox. But whenever you get it, let me know what you end up doing with it, and we will continue to update people on our great NBA 2K adventures.
Yes, my era mode. I'm gonna be updating you on how my eras go and how long I get into my eras. The Laker one from the 80 era. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I'm gonna say just start from the 80s with the Lakers, and you could just live out the entire dynasty and just see how many titles you can collect.
You just have to, position things right. Like you got to try. I'm not gonna try free agency. I'm gonna try in 1991, 92. I'm gonna just crash out. I'm gonna bomb it, and I'm gonna try to get Shaq. Then I'm gonna do the same in 95, 96 to get Kobe. Boom.
I wish you luck. You're gonna use the trade finder. You are, because you're gonna try to get those first round picks. That's the easiest way to find them is the trade finder. Don't act like you're above the trade finder, SP3.
I'm above the trade finder. I know how to find my own trades.
You are not above the trade finder. No one is above the trade finder. It's the best invention in all of sports games.
What a cheat code.
Absolutely not. No, trade override is the cheat code. Trade finder is legitimate and a fair way to find trades. It's literally in the title, trade finder. It's a fair way to find trades. You're not above.
It doesn't say fair trade finder. It says trade finder.
It's trade finder.
No.
If they don't want to offer that stuff, they shouldn't offer it.
It's not fair trade finder. Not realistic trade finder. None of the above.
Absolute hater. Absolute hater.
Well, you want to talk about football? Your Panthers.
I guess.
They must suck. They lost by 2 points.
They're awful. I knew they were going to be awful. I'm fine that they lost. I truthfully do not care that they lost. Here's my issue with them is they act like they want to win, but then they keep this head coach around who's not good. He wasn't good at the end of last season. He's no better now. He doesn't understand how to build a team. He can't find a quarterback that makes any sense. They had Teddy Bridgewater, who he basically lost a lot of close games, and that's why they got rid of him. They're like, oh, let's try Sam Darnold. He sucks so much in New York, but maybe we can fix him. Like, no, you can't fix him. Not with that broken offensive line either. And it's like, oh, well, let's try Baker Mayfield. Maybe he'll be fine. Baker did, he led the Browns to a playoff win a couple years ago, which is unheard of at the time. I don't think Baker's that bad. I'm like higher on Baker than most people are. I don't think the offense was too terrible. It took them forever to get going. The first half, they sucked until the 2-minute, till the final 2 minutes where they finally scored. And the second half, like, they were fine. Like, I don't think the offense is that bad. The problem with the offense is it's just conservative ass play calling. So they got the ball. They're down 2 or down 1. I don't remember. But they're down 1 or 2. And then they got the ball inside the red zone, or at least near the 20, with like 1:40 left. And they don't have their timeouts, but Cleveland has their timeouts. And they just run the ball. It's just conservative play calling when the offense was rolling. And it's like, okay, you can kick a field goal, but you're going to leave them because Cleveland had all their timeouts. You can kick a field goal, but you are going to leave them a minute 20 on the clock. The defense hasn't been that good throughout the game. Like the defense hasn't been good enough to like justify, hey, let's be conservative. So, but they just run the ball. They play conservative. They kick the field goal. The field goal is good. Great. But then you left them a minute 20 to try to set up their own game-winning field goal. And their field goal kicker, he's a rookie, but like he kicked the ball really well in preseason. And maybe you think like, oh, he can't do it. He was bombing them from like 70 yards in warm-up. Like he's got a leg on him. So it's not like they don't have like a good kicker or anything. They just played conservative in the final 2 minutes there when they could have gone for the touchdown and at least tried to, force Cleveland into a touchdown. Instead of just conservative play calling, and they lost. Like you coach losing football, you're gonna lose at football. And we have a losing football coach. That's it, honestly, in the end, that's what it comes down to. We have a coach who is scared. He coaches scared football. He does not play to win the game. We play to win the game. And this fucking coach, Matt Rule, doesn't play to win. And we lost. And we keep losing. Somebody's like, they've lost 8 straight games dating back to last season. They're just not. They're 2-15 going back to last season. They started the season 4-0 last year. 4-0. I think it was 4-0. Regardless, started the season 4-0. They won 1 game. Maybe it was 3-0. And then they only won 5 games last year. After starting the year 3-0, they won 5 games. Then they lose this year. They lose the opener to the Browns. I don't think the Browns are as bad as people make them out to be. They at least have a coach who's competent. The Panthers defense is extremely overrated because people look at it. Last year, they weren't like too bad, like overall, but like the scoring defense wasn't good. They don't force any turnovers. It's very bend but don't break. And like people kind of mistake that for good defense. But if you don't force turnovers and you can't get off the field, you're actually not that good of a defense beyond like, oh, your numbers might look okay. Again, I watched all the games last year, mostly. I gave up halfway through the season because it was obvious they weren't good. And I don't put myself through like just bad teams that are going nowhere. I'm not putting myself through mediocrity. Why am I going to keep watching this stuff? Like, it's dumb.
I love that. You're like, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right here.
Yeah, I got better things to do. So, like, the defense wasn't good last year. But people thought they were good because they just looked at numbers. Like, oh, it's a young defense, and they're getting better. It's like, they're really not that great. The running defense was god-awful yesterday. It's just not a good football team. They play the Giants this week. The Giants, by the way, John Alba's trying to bury the Giants. The Giants, they got a coach who's playing winning football. The Giants tied the game late. They tied it at 20. Or no, sorry. It was 19-20 or 21-20. They were down 1. They got a touchdown. The touchdown put them down 1. They missed an extra point earlier in the game. Otherwise, it would have been tied and they would have been kicking to take the lead. But they missed the extra point. So they're down 1. Instead of kicking the extra point to tie the game, they go for the 2-point conversion. They got it. That's winning football right there. They're going for 2. They said, fuck it. We ain't got nothing to lose. We're the Giants. Who gives a shit? They went for it. I love that shit. Like, that was great. And they got it. They still got lucky. They got lucky that the Tennessee kicker missed the last second field goal because otherwise they would have lost too. But they got rewarded for going for it on 2. That's just good karma. You went for it to get 2. You got the 2-point conversion. And then the football gods rewarded is like, you know what? You actually went for this shit. We're going to make this Tennessee kicker. We're going to make this Tennessee kicker miss this kick.
You know who's not playing winning football? Baker's half dozen wins in our fantasy football league.
How bad am I down?
No, you're not down by that much. I would say right now you are down 138 to 106.
I mean, so that's pretty.
I'm beating you by 32, and I have.
Like that's pretty funny. Do I have anybody playing tonight?
I have 3 players left playing tonight, and you have 2.
Oh yeah, I'm fucked. Anybody good playing tonight?
Well, you got Sutton from the Cortland Sutton from the Denver Broncos, and you got who do you have here? You have somebody else. Okay, now I see it. The flex position, Rashad Penny.
Sure. Hopefully they go off and all your players suck. Who do you have?
Who do I have left? That's a good question. My team. I have Javonte Williams from the Denver Broncos. I got Tyler Lockett from the Seahawks. Oh, I only have 2 left. I have 2 left, and you have 2 left.
Okay.
So look at that. There's a chance. You have a chance. Your guys tonight have to outscore my guys tonight by over 33 points.
I mean, it's probably not going to happen. But here's the thing about fantasy football, and I told you this off air. I love doing the draft. We're going to do a fantasy basketball league, and I'm going to be the same way. I love doing the draft, even though I don't keep up with football as much as I do basketball. Love the draft. After that, I completely forget about it. I forget to set my line. I didn't set my lineup this week. Whoever I drafted, like in these positions, is just who started. I just forget to set my lineup because I love doing the draft, and then I don't care after that. Drafting is fun to me. Everything after the draft, I don't like doing. I don't want to do it. I don't want to set my lineup.
Sounds like a great excuse for losing to me. You lost to me in the challenge draft. You lost to me. You're going to lose to me in fantasy football. You'll lose to me in fantasy basketball, NBA 2K. We're gonna check off
because that's actual game. You actually get to play those games. The challenge draft. The challenge draft is fine because I don't have to do anything. There's no lineup to set. It's just watch the show. That's fine. Like again, fantasy football like I do the draft and then I just forget to set my lineup. So that's where I'm at with fantasy football. Congratulations. I assume every team will beat me this year. I assume everybody's going to beat me when we do our fantasy basketball league. Yeah, I'll be the Panthers. All my teams suck. You know who doesn't suck? 2022 Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche.
I can't wait to see you and Caden's fantasy hockey league.
It's just going to be us two.
That's what I'm saying.
Us two. I don't know anybody else who actually likes fantasy hockey. We're probably not going to do a fantasy hockey league. I don't know if there'd be. I'll put it out there on Twitter if you want to do it.
Why not? Why not? Fantasy everything.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to our fantasy basketball league.
Well, we're definitely going to do a fantasy. We'll probably do like a live stream episode of fantasy during our draft. We'll do that and we'll put the draft board up and everything. It'd be very fun. I'm sure people maybe people will enjoy it. So we'll do that. Yeah, my fantasy team probably not good. Let's hold on. We got some. Yeah, so Buddy Mark says they forgot McCaffrey was on the team. Wasn't used at all in the first half. They didn't run the ball with him or anything. It was just like, hey, let's let Baker, who's very fired up, just overthrow a bunch of people. That was the entire first half. I didn't understand. Again, it's just the coach isn't good. He doesn't know what he's doing. They finally used him a little bit in the second half, and he was Christian McCaffrey. They were so worried because the past couple of years, they built their entire offense around McCaffrey, and he got hurt. And so it's like, well, we got to prove this offense is good without Christian McCaffrey. It's like, no, just use them. Just use your best players. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid game planning. A-Shock says the Packers lost. I got a hot take for you, SB3. Very hot.
Let's hear it.
Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated quarterback of all time.
Wow, of all time.
The most overrated of all time. Yes. People think this guy is a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Of all time? No, I don't think that. I think that
people think he is. People are like, this. Aaron Rodgers is so great. He's not top 10.
I think he's top 15.
Yeah, that's where he should be. People act like Aaron Rodgers is so fucking good. He's not. He's not that good. How many Super Bowls?
I mean, if people are saying he's a top 5 quarterback and you're saying he's top 15, that's not really overrating.
It's very overrated.
No, it's not.
He's overrated. The most overrated of all time. That's my hot take.
No. Well, I mean, I guess it is because a lot of the LeBron haters, they will say LeBron's not number 1, but because people say he's number 1 when they think he's number 2, it's overrated. So I get it.
I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is bad. I'm just saying he's not as good as everyone wants him to be. He's not. He's never been the best quarterback in his era. He's never been the best quarterback during his time. He was never better than shit. He's not even better than 45-year-old Tom Brady right now. It was never better than Brady or Manning or now Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's not better than these guys. Now he doesn't have Devontae Adams. He looks just completely lost out there. That's his fault for staying. He tried to play hardball with the Packers, and they were like, all right, what do you want to do? And then he just stayed. Now his team's awful, and he has no one to blame but himself. Aaron Rodgers, most overrated quarterback of all time. That's my hot take. If you disagree, go argue with your mother.
I mean, to be fair, this is coming from someone in myself. I think that Chris Paul is the most overrated point guard of all time. So I can't say that I staunchly disagree with what you're saying here.
You're a hater on Chris Paul.
No, I'm not. Chris Paul is the most overrated point guard in the history of the NBA.
That's a little harsh.
He is. It's not my fault. I don't make him choke. I don't put hands around his throat.
I think John Stockton is more overrated than Chris Paul.
You're bugging. He made a shot that led the Jazz to the NBA Finals.
I didn't know John Stockton enjoyed shots.
I'm talking about the basketball player. I ain't talking about his political views.
Well, I don't like John Stockton. Not a fan. At least Chris Paul has morals and morality. John Stockton is John Stockton. What else do we have to talk about? What does that look for?
He promotes loving the choke. That's a bad message for the kids that watch the NBA.
Some people are into choking, SP3.
I know, but I'm
don't
just
kink
saying,
shame.
I'm not kink shaming.
I'm
not kink shaming, but I'm saying you're calling him a role model. What type of role model is that?
Again, I feel like you're kink shaming. Because some people enjoy choking.
I'm not king. Yeah, I'm saying that's totally fine. I just don't want it promoted to my kids.
Why? Would you rather promoting not getting vaccinated or whatever else John Stockton is promoting? Because that ain't good either.
I'm not asking for him to
Did
promote
John
anything
Stockton
for
win
me.
a title? Has John Stockton won anything?
He got closer than Chris Paul.
They both made it to the finals. How did he get closer than Chris Paul?
He won more games than Chris Paul.
What do you mean he won more games than Chris Paul? He did it. They both got 6, didn't they? They both went 6.
He did it twice. That's more. He's won more games in the NBA Finals than Chris Paul.
Hang the fucking banner that he made it to the finals one more time than Chris Paul. Hang the banner.
Just tell me where. I'll hang it up.
Utah. Because Utah ain't making the finals anytime soon at the rate they're going right now.
Hey, hang it up. Utah has more NBA Finals wins than Chris Paul.
Good for Utah. Good for them. That's the only banners they've got hanging right now. Fuck John Stockton. All right.
Man, fuck Chris Paul. It ain't my fault. He chokes. Not my fault.
SP3's kink shaming out here. Let the record show.
Nope.
Trey says he had 2 chances and lost twice. That's more choking than Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's had 18 chances.
So is John Stockton, though. John Stockton got that far and didn't make it. He had
Michael Jordan. He had to overcome. Chris Paul
had Giannis and LeBron to overcome.
When he had to overcome LeBron.
When he was in the West and LeBron was in the East.
That's not overcoming him. He didn't have to overcome LeBron. He didn't even have to play him.
He still had to. LeBron was still in the league. He would have had to play him. He had Steph Curry to overcome.
Chris Paul had to overcome Steph Curry. He had to overcome Giannis.
They would have won that year if he doesn't get hurt. That's not his fault.
Oh, I don't deal with what ifs. I deal with reality.
Reality is John Stockton made it twice and lost twice.
Reality is Chris Paul only made it once when everybody else was injured and he choked.
John Stockton, people put more stock into making it to the finals and losing than they do to like not making it to the finals. I was having this conversation with the fiance, and she was like, "What happened when Jordan like came back after the first time?" And I was like, "Oh, they made it like they made the playoffs, and then Jordan lost to the Magic. I think it was like second round, maybe it was semifinals. But like people just they just erase that when it comes to Jordan. It's just like he won 6 titles. Like who gives a shit about that time? Like his return season when they lost to the Magic.
No, he returned in '96, right? Right,
yeah.
Everybody, right?
Yeah,
he
like that's what people
96.
remember. It is very hilarious that like, and this is the knock on LeBron is like LeBron. Oh, he's been to the finals however many times and he's lost that many times. It's like people just don't care about the season. Again, everybody was injured. That now not making the playoffs is a much bigger deal. Like if you don't make the playoffs, that's obviously a big deal. But if you just make the playoffs and you just lose in the second round, people are like, whatever. Like making the finals and losing is a worse. It like is more of a detriment than like not making the finals. It's hilarious to me.
It really is.
So that's why John Stockton 0-2 in the finals. Chris Paul only 0-1.
He will be 0-2. Just let the Suns make it to the finals. They'll lose again. Because Chris Paul has choked on every single team he's been on. Even in New Orleans. He was choking on no spicy food.
That's it, choking on spicy food.
Come on.
I can't believe you would take John Stockton over Chris Paul.
Hey, he blew a 3-1 lead. Trey's right. Chris Paul blew a 3-1 lead. So
I mean, so did Kevin Durant and so did Steph Curry.
Okay. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them. Did John Stockton ever blow a 3-1 lead?
You had to be
How
up
about
3-1.
it? How about it? He's been up 3-1 in his career. How about it? How many 3-1 leads he blew?
Who cares? Best play, great players blew 3-1 leads.
You know what? You wasn't prepared for this debate, so I hope you out. He did blow a 2-0 lead in a 5-game series.
So there you go.
Against Dirk. That was Dirk's coming out series too.
All right, well there you go. No, I was not prepared to do because I'm not trying to defend John Stockton, or I'll slander the fuck out of John Stockton. You made your own point there.
Yeah, I'm helping you. You welcome.
He's a garbage. Yeah, Trey says it. At the end of the day, it's fuck Karl Malone and John Stockton, both of them.
Well, fuck Chris Paul too.
What? Chris Paul has done nothing wrong to you. He's not wronged you at all.
Yes, he has.
How?
How did he not wrong me? Did you not see the playoffs in 2021? We should have went to the NBA finals. Not
your excuse is everybody got hurt, SP3. That's not Chris Paul's fault. Blame it on injuries. Don't blame that on Chris Paul.
It's Chris Paul's fault.
How? He didn't injure them. He got hurt too.
It just rolls off the tongue. Chris Paul's fault.
He's never actually wronged you.
Yes, he has. Plenty of times.
John Stockton.
He should have been a Laker. He should have been a Laker in 2011. That's not his fault. That's
David Stern. Say fuck David Stern.
No, I'm blaming him. I'm blaming Chris Paul because David Stern ain't here with us anymore.
That's not nice. He's never wronged you. Hey. John Stockton, an actual terrible human being. Karl Malone, an actual terrible human being. Kevin Durant.
Did they ever wrong you?
No, they're terrible humans, though. You know, fuck it, they wronged me. I'm not gonna stick up for terrible humans.
Did they ever wrong you, though?
This is my point. No, these are terrible humans.
I thought the point was, did they ever wrong you? I thought that was what we was talking about.
That's one of the points. So as I was getting to, Kevin Durant actually seems like a good human being. Did wrong me, and that's why I say fuck Kevin Durant. The other two terrible human beings, and that's why I say fuck them. Yes, fuck terrible humans. Chris Paul, by all accounts, seems like a nice guy. I mean, probably an asshole to play with. Honestly, like
debatable.
Okay, it's debatable in the same way Jordan's probably an asshole to play with.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's better.
Chris Paul doesn't seem like a terrible human being either. Never actually wronged you. Yet you're saying fuck Chris Paul. Like what happened that Chris Paul has made you like this, SP3? Let's talk. Lay down on the couch and let's talk about this. Why do you have this vitriol towards Chris Paul?
Because he's not a good person. Y'all just believe he's a good person because y'all watch State Farm commercials. That's why y'all think he's a good human being. He ain't a good human being. He ain't worried about your insurance. He ain't worried about any of that. You thinking that you're talking about Carlton, but
You
you're
think
talking about
Michael
Chris
Jordan
Paul.
gives a shit if you drink Gatorade? They just like, give me your money.
I don't drink Gatorade. I didn't want to be like Mike. I mean, I did, but I don't want to be like Mike anymore. I know about Mike now. I'm good. I am totally good. I
You're
just
trying to
know
be Mamba mentality. Let me tell you some
absolutely.
stuff about Kobe Bryant, SP3.
Hey, he was always a good person to me. I met him at Rucker Park.
Let me tell you some stuff about Kobe Bryant that happened with Kobe Bryant.
Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you hear. He was a man that made a mistake in his life, and he made up for that mistake. He's been nothing but gracious to his teammates, to his friends, to his family. Don't talk about Kobe like that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip Bayless. Don't do that.
I got nothing bad to say Kobe and a basketball player. Great basketball player. Well, let me tell you some stuff he did, SP3.
Tell you some stuff that Chris Paul did. He blew a 3-1 lead. Sure. He chokes every time he's in the playoffs. He gets hurt, or he just starts choking and starts not basketball. Playing like Chris Paul.
We're talking about basketball.
Yes, because we're a show that talks about stuff not wrestling
Kobe Bryant
related or
passively aggressively refused to shoot the ball in a playoff game. All right? Let's not say this man was a perfect human being on the court. Let's not say this man was a perfect human being off the court.
How do you know that?
How do I know what?
How you know he refused to shoot the ball? Maybe he didn't think that he had it in him to shoot the ball at that time, at that particular moment, or at that particular game.
Definitely. Then he lacked the Mamba mentality.
Maybe if you're not feeling well, that affects your Mamba quota, the level of your Mamba, so that you don't have the mentality needed to shoot the ball in that instance.
SP3?
Yes.
You know when Kobe didn't refuse to shoot?
When did he not refuse to shoot?
I'm going to get in so much trouble.
Yes, you are. I'm not even saving you on this one. You gotta finish what you're saying.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
I love how you just went. We got oh no, whelp.
Do people not know? People are. I don't know if A-Shock doesn't know. I don't know if JJ doesn't know.
I would step away from the gun. I would put the gun down, step away from the gun.
Oh man, I gotta see if I gotta have somebody else say this.
I love that you try to pass the buck to somebody else to say it. Oh, now this. This is awful. This is so cowardly behavior. This is atrocious. Atrocious behavior.
I'm not saying. Okay, A-Shock says he does know. Okay.
Atrocious behavior by you, Jeremy. How could you? How will you be able to look yourself in the mirror after this episode?
Very carefully. Very carefully.
What are you like looking to crevices or something like that? Well, we got a challenge USA to discuss. I'll try to save you here and move on.
You know when Kobe Bryant didn't refuse to shoot SP3? When he shot on the t-shirt because the woman wasn't hot enough to him. That is when he didn't refuse to shoot. That's all I'll say. This is a true story, everybody.
Why? See, people heard the sirens at my building. They trying to get you. They heard your voice from here. They was like, oh my goodness, what is Jeremy talking about? Jeremy, why? Why did you have to say that? And why did it take you so long to say it?
I didn't want to get in trouble, but that's what happened.
No, it wasn't. Allegedly.
You're right.
You got to put allegedly, reportedly in front of it.
Actually, I don't think that part is alleged. I think that's in the court case, and Kobe admitted to this.
He admitted to it in the press conference. He said the only thing I am guilty of is adultery. I did not rape the woman. Yes. I remember that Kobe press conference. How could you? You are throwing dirt on someone who's not with us.
Like, the man said it himself.
How could you? How could
the man said it himself?
We don't talk about these things anymore.
Unless it's
Hulu and you're on a Lakers documentary. Because you're upset about winning time. Like, God damn it. All right. But yes, Challenge USA. It was another week, another time of this new alliance taking over. Angela is playing one of the greatest political games in the history of a challenge season. This is real. Now, honestly, this is really up there with like Wes during Battle of the X's 2, or Johnny Bananas and Rivals 3. Like, this is like a top political game. How she has all the guys on her side. And then there's just this small group of girls that don't want to see her or Alyssa win. It's quite remarkable.
Bunch of haters. Angela won the daily challenge. The only person to win the daily challenge. The only person to finish the daily challenge. You had to like use these pegs to go across the truck that was moving and everything. Everyone was trash at it. But my girl Angela, she won it. And then I forgot who won for the men, but who cares? He didn't finish.
It was Ben, my guy, Ben, who won.
Ben's doing really well.
He is. Even though he's kind of switched sides, I was like, man, you a turncoat. You just going with the side you think is gonna win. You and Danny playing a scared game.
Let's pull up the share screen. Pull up the draft board. So we get Enzo and David in balls out. So you were screwed either way here, SB3, because you got both of them. You had David and Enzo. And David ends up going up 1-0 on it. And then Enzo said, fuck this. And just smashed him in the last two. Balls out's one of my favorite ones too. So the point of it for anybody who hasn't seen it is like you get a ball and you basically just try to score it into the trash can. And you just got to run through your opponent. It's a very good challenge, a challenge staple. And Enzo,
but this was one of the worst editions of it ever. This dude David got tired after 2 rounds.
He did.
He started throwing jumpers. The worst jumper I've ever seen in my life.
This wasn't good. So David's gone. That knocks out now the final picks. We drafted well. Look at this. The last picks there, all gone.
That's true.
And then our first round is completely gone as well. So it's the middle rounds. The middle rounds have done well for us. But I still feel I'm feeling good about everything.
I mean, you should feel good. You got Angela.
That's right.
She is crushing. She is killing this game and controlling the votes on both sides.
My female side is good. My guy Danny Kiki was keeping him through everything. Another mention of Kiki that everyone was very proud of. Like the first time, his first little confessional, he's like, "Oh, Kiki's gonna love watching me do this." I was like, oh, "God, dude." I'm
like really convinced now it's a bit because of you.
Oh, it is
because of you. I am really convinced it's a bit at this point.
It is. DKC, are you a Panthers fan? I apologize if you are.
And Sarah is still annoying as hell. She wasn't as annoying as the last 2 weeks. At least there was that, but still. she still needs to stop. Just stop. Don't do it.
When are we getting the finals? You think there's one more female elimination and then the finals?
Yeah, because they say that. Well, you don't watch the.
I know. I don't watch the preview.
But before the coming attractions, they said it's a two-part final. So I think next week is part 1.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, probably like one more regular challenge, then the women's elimination, and then from the women's elimination, they go straight into the final.
I'm gonna win this thing. I feel good about it.
Who do you think? Who's your pick to be the winners? With two.
I mean, I feel very good about Angela. I feel very good about Angela winning. And then for the male side, I mean, Tyson and Ben are kind of like neck and neck there.
Yeah.
Tyson has slipped recently, but I still think like in an overall like final, I'm still favoring him. But Ben's doing well too. But I'm going Tyson. So that would leave Cher to wear the penis necklace.
I would get either. Well, I gotta go with Sarah. Unfortunately, she's my only female left.
You don't have to. You can like be unbiased and
Well, I mean, out of the women left, I keep saying it. It's Angela. Angela looks like the odds-on favorite to win this thing. But as far as like the men, it doesn't seem as clear cut as Tyson winning, and I can see with the amount of camera time he's gotten, Danny winning.
Hey, look, I'm for it. Oh man, can you imagine?
Kiki. Imagine Kiki. Imagine him and Kiki. We're gonna go on vacation because Kiki's always wanted to go on vacation. So I can't wait to tell Kiki she's going on vacation.
They better let that man call her and spoil it if he wins. Like, baby, you can't say anything, but I just won the challenge. Like, they gotta call her and spoil this thing.
He gonna be on the phone with Kiki, like, Kiki, they let me call Kiki to tell you.
We gotta get Kiki on the damn show somehow. She's been mentioned enough.
Sure, they gotta do a reunion. Just so Kiki can be on the reunion.
I mean, I'd imagine they'll have a reunion. We'll see, but
I mean, All Stars 3 didn't have a reunion.
True.
You never know.
All right, SP3. Well, I sent the link to Caden. He was very adamant that he be on the show. He's not in the chat or anything. I don't know if he's going to be on the show, but he's got the link.
He probably wanted to tell us about a third-string quarterback who had a good time yesterday.
Probably. I don't remember who his team is. I don't know.
Something Florida?
I think he's a Bucks fan. Maybe not. Yeah. Oh, Caden said he's coming. All right. Great.
Oh, God.
Hurry up, Caden. Right, in this show without you.
He's always prolonging things.
He is. He's horrible. He's horrible.
Young Caden.
Trey says he's having a good time. Yeah.
He's having a good time.
Everyone is having a good time here on FMC.
Caden's having a good time coming.
I'd hope so. I mean, usually when you come, it's a good time, right? I guess sometimes it can be bad. I wouldn't know anything about that, but
I don't know anything about that either.
Hurry up, Caden.
Like, jeez. Jesus Christ, Caden. That was some of my best material, and I wasted it trying to wait for you to come on this show.
Sex jokes, everybody. That's what we're here for.
Hey, we said nothing wrestling related that didn't include penis jokes. Yeah, he's really pushing it now, though.
Fashionable. He's gonna wear the same shitty T-shirt he always wears.
It's not fashionable at all.
No.
Fashionably late would be him showing up as we're not about to close off the show.
There he is. See, it's the same shitty T-shirt he always wears. Just a black T-shirt. This is not fashionable at all. Oh, I will not say it's a wrestling shirt at that.
Wrestling shirt.
What do you want, Caden?
Oh, I'm just going to talk about football. I've been up for 3 minutes.
Okay.
I've literally been awake for 3 minutes. Let's talk about college football and this bullshit that happened on Saturday. University of Florida, we've got this quarterback, Anthony Richardson, supposed to be taking the top 10 of the 2023 NFL draft, supposed to be a Heisman candidate this year. What does this guy do? Have one of the worst performances of a quarterback I've ever seen in my life against Kentucky. So bad that I've got Sean Ross Sapp exposing our DMs where he told me to eat a fucking poop and called me a jobber.
Well, he's not wrong.
This is bullshit. Anthony Richardson needs to get this shit under control. He needs to be able to complete passes. The last pass of the game that lost us this game, he just threw it into the ground. He had so many people completely wide open and just could not complete these passes. I could make these passes. They were not hard. Kentucky did not. Would you say, Jeremy?
I don't think that's true that you could complete the passes.
I could have completed these passes. These were terrible throws.
I don't think that's true at all.
I don't think so either.
You know what? I'm not putting up with this bullshit today.
All right, bye.
He showed us. He showed us.
Great job, Caden. That was Caden, everybody. I don't know what he actually said. I didn't pay attention.
That was great.
Redeem yourself here, Caden.
I hate college football. Jeremy, you know the way you feel about the Avalanche?
I feel great about them. They're the 2022 Stanley Cup champions.
During a game, you feel like complete shit.
No, I've never said a bad word about them during the game. I've always been optimistic and hopeful and believed that they're the best team in the league, and they proved me correct. So I have no idea what.
There you go.
Okay, well, Jeremy, that's how I feel during Florida games. I hate life throughout every second of them.
Fair.
Oh,
do you have anything else to add, Caden?
Yeah, props to Texas. They almost beat Alabama with their backup quarterback.
Almost. Great.
Yeah, they lost by a point against the number 1 seed. That's a very big progress for a team that had a losing record last year.
Texas back is what I've heard.
I don't think they're fully back yet. That whole shit about Texas is back. They've been saying that for years, and it's like I'm a huge Texas fan. I grew up in Austin. I'm a diehard Texas fan, but the whole thing about Texas is back. They like to jump on that a little too early, but that was very big progress for them. They've got like when Quinn Ewers comes back in 4 to 6 weeks after this surgery or after this injury is finished, I think they're going to be in a really good spot. It's just a matter of can they put everything together now? They've got some really good pieces, and they've got Steve Sarkisian behind the play calling at their new head coach, and I think he's very talented. It's just a matter of putting everything together now. You've got all the pieces. Now it's time to put this shit together and have a really good team.
They're better than Florida, is what I'm hearing.
I think they have a much better team than Florida. Florida, I think, is like they said, like 80% underclassmen.
Sure, they're better than Florida. That's all.
They are
almost. They almost won. Good for them. Great morale victory.
Yeah.
Anything else, Caden?
I don't think so.
Great chat. Do you want to plug anything?
I don't think I have anything to plug this week. So
all right, go back to bed or something.
That was great. Let's talk about Cobra Kai season 5.
I'm 5 episodes in. I didn't like the first couple of episodes, but it's picked up since then. I've liked it. I've liked it since, Actually, I might be 6 episodes in. Regardless, I didn't like the first few. I thought it was a little all over the place. I don't want to spoil too much.
No, we could do a spoiler-free and then do a real review next week since we don't have that much time left. All I will say is that, and we can do a ranking of the seasons. I would rank this, spoiler alert, this at the bottom. But that's not saying that it's a bad season. That's just talking about the quality of the past 4 seasons. Where this one, there was no clear like direction or payoff in things, and I felt like the reason why Cobra Kai is so successful is that yes, it mixes all these nostalgic characters that we met in Karate Kid with a new batch of characters and the teenagers very well, and you want to see the relationship of Johnny and Miguel and Robbie and his dad and Daniel and his daughter and all that type of stuff, and they made both things separate and they don't give the teens a lot of time. So that was probably like the point where I was just like, this doesn't feel like a Cobra Kai season that I'm used to, and that's why I put it at the bottom.
It was definitely to start all over the place, and I didn't like it. By about episode 3, things get in line a little bit. You saying they don't pay off certain things does worry me based on the first couple of episodes, but I guess we'll see. I'll try to finish it in the next week, and we can talk about it in more depth next week. But we'll see if I'm able to finish it or not. It's my birthday on Thursday, SB3. Do we want to talk about this?
Woo, woo. It's Jeremy's birthday. What are you doing for your birthday?
Working.
Am I invited to the spotlight for your birthday?
I don't know what. I assume Steven Jensen has plans. You know,
he didn't invite me. I did a whole show on classic Nickelodeon TV shows.
I know, and I got beef with you guys.
Why do you have beef with us?
Because SpongeBob is severely underrated.
I think I rated it properly. I think I am not a part of this generation of fans that you might be a part of. That SpongeBob came when.
All right, there's no SpongeBob slander on this show. I can put up with Chris Paul, whatever. I don't have that much attachment to him, despite the gimmick and everything. All this other, some stuff I can deal with. SpongeBob, we ain't slandering the SpongeBob on FMC, okay? We're not doing that. Any SpongeBob slander, get that shit out of here, all right? If you ever lived in a pineapple under the sea, until you have, you can't slander SpongeBob. No SpongeBob slander around here. Do you want to say anything else, SP3, or am I gonna have to kick you off the show again and end things?
Who slanders SpongeBob?
You didn't. It's top tier. SpongeBob way up here, way above all these. I can't even reach that high. That's how you put him in.
SpongeBob ain't even near Rugrats.
Anyway, that's the end of FMC. Everybody, I like Rugrats, but we're not gonna pretend like SpongeBob ain't top of the top. That's a callback from last week. Go back and watch that show. All right. Everyone follow SP3 at True Heel SP3. Follow the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Go find him on Wrestle Talk and Believe and Sportskeeda and all these other channels that SP3 is part of. Again, at True Heel SP3 on Twitter. The True Heel Heat Show. Rocket Power is not overrated. I'm going to have to ban Trey. What are all of these terrible... All right, SP3 really wants back.
Yo, nah, that's OD. Like that was the one from that era that I did like. Rocket Power is
great.
Great theme song, great characters. Otto, come on, man. Otto Rocket, that's his name. Oh my god. You guys
I legitimately meant to do a run-in on the show. And then I noticed you guys started at 10 and you ended before 11. It was like 11:03. That I was like, oh, I'm going to do a run-in. And I saw you guys had already wrapped. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to do a run-in. And then I saw the rankings. I was like, oh, we're going to have to do a re-show with me on there to set you guys straight.
Oh, my God. I'm not bad-mouthing SpongeBob.
I know you're not because I just kicked you off the show before you could say anything about SpongeBob. So, no, you will not bad-mouth SpongeBob. Absolutely not. Bye, everybody. That has been FMC. SP3 still trying to talk. He's doing like this. I see him, his mouth is moving, but there are no words. Everybody's flipping me off right now. Look at these assholes. Look at this. Get out of here. They just flip me off. The bullshit on my own show. It's my birthday week, and everybody's being mean to me. Follow SP3 at True Heel SP3. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Fightful overbooked. I don't know. Stuff is happening. Things are happening. Everybody say happy birthday to me on Thursday and be nice to me this week. Be nice to SpongeBob. Bye, everyone.